Chapter 3 of Killgloom Park by Neil Boyton, S.J. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Chapter 3 The Reception Committee. As the big Killgloom Park car turned out of 7th Avenue into the entrance ramp at Pennsylvania Station, Angelo Daily was busy giving the chauffeur instructions. "You see, don't you, Mike? I can't go and find him. I ask you, man to man, how could I leave this monk and this blamed cat in the car when they have never been to Manhattan before? Of course, Buddy was here once, but that was before he came to the park, and he was teeny and didn't know enough to be naughty. So you'll have to go and meet good turn yourself." The car had drawn up at the station, and several red cape porters came solicitously up to the door. Angelo waved them away. "We're not going to get out to catch a train." Then, as he recognized one of the uniformed men, Angelo shouted, "Hey, Mr. Johnson! Abe Johnson! Hey, Abe!" He punched the shoulder of the chauffeur. "What do you know about that, Mike? We're in luck. There's old Abe, who worked in the dance hall last season." "Hey, Abe." The particular colored porter's attention was finally caught, and he came up, grinning broadly, as he recognized the younger son of the manager of Killgloom Park. When Abe learned that George Daily and a chum were due in 5 minutes, he promised to meet and escort them directly to the waiting park car. Angelo sank back relieved into the cushions of the rear seat. As he did so, the frightened mug of Buddy, his pet monkey, appeared at the window. The unusual noises of many taxis arriving and leaving the station ramp had driven the monkey to the security of the floor, where he clung to his master's ankle. Now, at Angelo's emphatic invitation, he climbed to the usual perch on his owner's shoulder and peered out the window. A plaintive meow from the depths of the car disclosed that the big, cool black tomcat of Killgloom Park was also on the official reception committee to meet G.T. Daly, returning on the Washington Express from Georgetown Prep. Angelo kept watching the exit from the train shed, and his vigil was finally rewarded. George Daly, in a new gray suit, with his golf bag over his shoulder, came on the run towards the parked car. Right behind him was another lad, and behind followed Mike and Abe, laden with bags. Angelo grabbed Buddy to his bosom, and catching Ferocity between his legs, so that cat could not leap out, opened the car door. "Ayoom!" he roared in greeting to his older brother. An answering tigerish yell filled the surrounding atmosphere, and next moment G.T. Daly was being dragged into the car with the admonition, "Collar that blamed old cat, and don't let him get out." "Gosh, G.T., I am glad to see you," welcomed the younger brother. "You must weigh 5 pounds more than you did at Easter. We'll put you on an honest guess your weight scales, and see if I am not right." Angelo gave his brother a bear hug that almost flattened Buddy. That small monkey squealed and wiggled out of the embrace. G.T. introduced his companion. "This is Wish Cragg, who is to visit with us for 2 weeks. He's never seen the island, and he is scared stiff." Angelo shook hands cordially. "Glad to meet you, Wish Cragg. After a couple of weeks on our Coney Island, you'll get over being scared. Glad you chaperoned my big brother. But if I had known you had all the stuff with you, G.T., I would have brought a couple of park trucks here to tote it down to the island." G.T. assured him, "This is nothing. I store most of my stuff at the prep for the summer." G.T. and his prep mate squeezed into the car. The various bags and suitcases were stowed under feet. Then Angelo, with a lordly air, passed Abe a 50-cent piece. As the park car started up the ramp, Angelo explained, "You fellows may not believe it, but Buddy and this here Ferocity are hicks for sure. They are frightened by all the noises over here in Manhattan, and yet they live with the public all summer in the park. I don't believe Ferocity was ever off Coney Island before, even that time he was AWOL from the park for 3 days, and we had the radio cars looking for him, and then he came back looking like he had been in several world wars, and on the wrong side, too." The parked car was held up by the halted traffic ahead, and Angelo went right on. "And Buddy, too. This bad bag of tricks here never acted this way before. You'd think he would be used to crowds by this time of his life. Why, he sees thousands of people daily." but you never can tell what that monkey is going to do next." Angelo had evidently recalled something recent. He leaned over Wish Crag to shake his brother's knee. "GT, you know that pipe Cap loves like a child? Not the one that Mother doesn't want him to smoke within half a mile of the apartments, but the meerschaum the Italian workman in the park gave him last Columbus Day. That one. Well, anyway, Buddy grabbed it and threw it at Ferocity yesterday afternoon. Did it smash up?" "That's why Ferocity has a black eye, hey?" put in Wish Crag, looking fixedly at the younger Daily's damaged optic. "No, it is not, and if you really want to know, I got this shiner from another crazy monkey, that Maggie. Whoopee, she's worse than crazy." GT interrupted the flow of personal happenings. "Come on, oh Angel, let us get down to the island. I am hungry to see old Killgloom after all the studying I have been doing this past 2 weeks to pass the finals." Angelo snorted. "Study! I bet you 3 ice cream cones, any color you wish. You don't know what study is. Why, the sister I have this year—" Here the park car started up again and rolled out of the Pennsylvania station into crowded 7th Avenue. George Tilliard Daly and his prep chum sank back comfortably to watch the changing panorama of afternoon traffic in lower Manhattan. GT searched and found a lone peanut in his pocket. Holding this out as bait, he beckoned to Buddy. The small monkey came gladly and accepted the gift. Then he perched on GT's shoulder, the better to eat, and watched the interesting scenes that rolled past the car windows. "How you hate to talk, oh Angel brother," began GT, "so start right in and tell us what's new in Greater Killgloom Park this season. I am starved for the sight of the best spot on the nation's playground." Angelo Daily did not need any further encouragement. As suddenly as the needle dropped on the phonograph starts the record, he began to chant, "Greater Killgloom Park, world-famous wonderland, wholesome wonder attractions of the world of play, hours winged with joy, a galaxy of scintillating color, dazzling bewilderment, intoxicating beauty, a pageantry of pleasures hold sway, a place for your mother, your sister, your wife, your children, and your sweetheart. Greater Killgloom Park. Here's where the aged bury the date of their birth and youth reaches the Colorado. That's wrong. I mean the Eldorado of happiness." The 2 boys had sat fascinated at Angelo's flow of words. When he paused for breath, Wish broke out in admiration. "Boy, oh boy, you can spiel." "That's nothing," confessed Angelo with unusual modesty. "I just memorized that from a new park advertisement. But seriously, let me tell you what is new. GT, you just keep on holding my buddy, and I'll tell you fellows all I know. You remember where the sidewalks of New York was? Well, the newer and bigger spectacle there is, Fire and Flames. It is mostly the same old stuff from the sidewalks, but they have lengthened the fake fire in the tenement house, and there are some good jumping acts in it from the 3rd. No, it is from the 4th floor windows of the set. Only yesterday at one of the afternoon performances, that clown Jake, who takes the part of an excited lady and yells, 'Save my child! Save my child! Oh, fireman!' You know the routine with a stuffed doll baby in his arms." GT nodded. "Well, some of the gasoline flames curled up and scorched Jake at that part, for he yelled in earnest, threw the doll baby into the audience, and jumped and almost missed the edge of the net the firemen were holding. I tell you that was a thrill that was not on the program. Jake skinned his arm to beat the band. One of the nurses at the baby incubators, who knows as much first aid as any Boy Scout, bandaged it up for him. She likes Jake, though what—" "Never mind," put in Wish Crag, grinning delightedly. "Go on with your monologue." Angelo scowled at GT's guest and continued, "Listen, the spec that is going to turn him away this season is the new naval battle. It is the best spectacle I ever saw on the island, and I have seen free all they had on the island since I was able to walk, I guess." Angelo waxed eloquent. "Let me tell you about it. You know where the mountain ride was last season? Well, they've excavated and made a lake there about up to here." Angelo tapped his stomach. "I know, 'cause I fell in one day last week and had to wade ashore. 2 sides of this lake there are tinny cliffs, 30 feet high. The boss carpenter told me they used all the old tin we had in the park, and then we had to buy some to finish up that scenery. It is painted to look like rocks and forts. It looks like the entrance to that bottle-shaped Santiago harbor that is in my American history, page 203. But just you fellows wait till you see the dinky little warships the Spectacle has. They are real launches with 10 superstructures on them, and the men who run the boats can't weigh over 120 pounds, and they have to squat down inside and do everything, steer and run the engine motor, and shoot pistols through the turrets. Of course, only blanks, but they make as much smoke as real ones, and this smoke gets in your nose and eyes till you think you're in a real battle. I know, 'cause I've been on the Texas during a battle. She's the biggest warship we have. I was squeezed between Don Donahue's knees. He runs that boat in the parade at the opening of the show and in the battle that follows. He wouldn't let me do anything but fire that pistol that shoots through the forward port turret. Believe me, when the battle starts, you get excited and want to stand up. But if you do, you will bump your head hard and lift the superstructure off. I know. Angelo rubbed the crown of his head reminiscently and went on. Just you wait till you see the naval battle. I'll say it will be the hit of the season at the island. And the noise! Whoopee! Mother does not like the naval battle. She says it is just like living at the front, 'cause all the noise comes right across Killgloom Boulevard and comes right into our apartments, every hour on the half hour, as it says on the timetables. You can't hear the radio sometimes, but I don't mind that, if I am not listening in on a fight broadcast. The parked car had crossed Broadway and was now on the teeming east side, headed for the Manhattan Bridge. A traffic jam stopped the car near the curb. Angelo had just started to tell his audience of other improvements that had been built on the site of last season's disastrous fire when he happened to notice Buddy. That small monkey was half out of the lowered window, watching intently. Angelo divined his monkey's intention. He shouted too late. "Hey, Buddy, you can't do that. There's a commandment against it. Grab him, GT. You come right back here." Too late indeed. Buddy had taken a flying leap, and next second he was outside the car and clinging to the side of a peanut vendor's cart. Angelo fumbled with the car door. The small monkey grabbed Peanuts in both paws, and then taking another flying leap was back through the car window. It had all taken place so swiftly behind the vendor's back that the Jewish merchant was unaware of the theft. Mike started up the machine as the jam loosened. Angelo grabbed Buddy and snapped the chain to his collar. He scolded, "Never again do I take you to Manhattan. Do you hear, you common thief? That was a nice trick, to go and steal peanuts when you can get yourself sick on them at the park for nothing." GT called out, "Wait a minute, Mike." He got out and, running back, paid the unsuspecting vendor for a bag of peanuts. When he returned, Angelo was still scolding his monkey. "You stay chained there till we get into the park enclosure. You. A suitable descriptive word failed the usually eloquent younger Daily. Onto the Manhattan Bridge, over the Blue East River, with the old Brooklyn Bridge to the south, and, beyond, a glimpse of the Statue of Liberty, and into Brooklyn Borough the car sped. Before long it was cutting through Prospect Park, and then out on the long straightaway Ocean Parkway to Coney Island. GT summed up his sensations when they were on Surf Avenue, Coney Island, and already the four-towered entrance to Killgloom Park was in sight. "Do you know, oh Angel, there is nothing like returning to the old park. This office boy will be at work in Cap's office this night. And this thieving monkey will never see Manhattan again, if the police and I have anything to say in the matter," concluded Angelo earnestly. "You go right back to the jungle set, Buddy, and spend the rest of the day there on bread and water." End of Chapter 3. Recording by Maria Therese.